Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the video. Today what I'm going to be doing is making some patch cables for my pedal board. I'm trying to get this stuff set up for a tour, so I got to make sure my gear is on point, so to speak. I love these. These are made by a local guy from me, Rattlesnake Cable Company. These are about $10 a piece, totally worth it. But my local music store only had 2 of them in stock, and I was stuck with these. These, they're fine, but I like how compact these ones are as opposed to these ones here. Ooh, that industrial grade. Industrial grade Velcro get you every time. So these ones, this is a Planetary Waves. It's fine. You can't fix it if something goes wrong because of this right here. This doesn't allow you, can you see that? There we go. This doesn't allow you to get in to the components and change it. These, however, you can take apart and work on if you have to, which is why, another reason why I prefer them. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of a reset up on my board as well, so that the pedals that I access the most with clicks are gonna be down here, which is gonna include a pedal that I don't own yet. So we're gonna make sure that I leave space for that. And yeah, anyway, we'll get more into my pedal board setup later, but for now, let's just check out how to make your own sets of patch cables like these. Alright, so if we're gonna make ourselves one of these, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need these tips, we're gonna need this cable, and some solder, unless you have solderless tips. So we'll find out what we got. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I've got gear from years ago. As you can see on this patch cable here, maybe, oh, there it is. You can see this is a shorted out patch cable. It got a cut in it at some point, but it's extremely long. So I'm just gonna scavenge this for the little bits of cable I need. Still leaves me with the problem of buying the tips, getting the tips, which I purchased online. And they just came in today, which is why we're doing those now. So, this is what these tips look like. Similar. They don't have gold tips, but I'm not too worried about that. Other than that, I'm pretty sure it's the same manufacturer. So I'm thinking that these are gonna work out exactly the way that I'm thinking they will. These tips in general are pretty expensive from what I found online, but I did some searching and I found these ones. I got a 20 pack of them for 30 bucks, as opposed to that being like $3 to $7 a piece. So anyway, 20 pack for 30 bucks. I'll leave a link down in the description so you can go find it yourself if you're looking for that. And yeah, then aside from that, just a word of caution to everybody that when you scavenge, you got to make sure you do it right. So this is a cable that I got from my free bin at my local music store. People can just drop off used gear and you can pick it up for free. And I needed a little power patch cable because my Peterson strobe tuner, which is the greatest freaking tuner in the world. There we go. Greatest tuner in the world. If you have low end, you're gonna want one of these Petersons. But it has a DC jumper, so you pop in your DC power here and it pops out a DC power there that you can power another pedal with. So that way, you save space with your power on your pedal board as well. So I wanted to jump that. I needed a cable. I went and found this one. at my local music store, and it was taped. Can you see it? Come on, camera. Focus on that shit, isn't it? There we go. So you can see it soldered on both sides. There was tape over, like electrical tape over both soldering spots, but it had moved. And if these two touch, that's a short that will definitely burn out your cable, if not start a fire. So you gotta be careful with that shit. I ended up using this stuff. Let's see. This heat shrink tubing. I love this stuff. It's rad. You just cut out the little section you need, put it over top, shrink it down with a blow dryer, and ends up looking like this. So in this one, this is that patch cable, that power cable, modified, redone. I cut off the parts that I needed, which were the tips, to the length I needed. And then under each one of these, the entire inner wire is wrapped in its own individual heat shrink tubing. And then all around the outside, it's sealed again. This thing will not fail me. So anyway, just be careful. All right. Let's open one of these little guys up and see what we got. Ooh, beautiful. There's our connectors in there. Insulation. Boom, done. So, we're gonna first imitate this one specifically. Let's see what we got. For length, where's my cable? Boom. So actually, if it's up like that, I'm gonna go there to there. There's a heat thing on it, okay. All right, so I'm pulling apart this Rattlesnake Cable Company one, and looking at how he's got it cut. It looks like right here he does the heat shrink tubing on his cables. So I'm guessing I should do that too. Let's see what happens. All right. So here I'm gonna do a little test. This is how I run electronics tests on equipment that I want to check out. So I take my little voltmeter or whatever. I set it to square wave out. It's got 1. I've got my ground, and then my 500 milliamp max, smaller one right here. And then basically all I do is I look at it, I touch the tips together, and you'll see when a short happens, the number drops. So that's how I know that I've got a connection. So then if I do the same thing here, And I go on this cable, and I'll go from the tip, and then I'll touch the other tip. You see that it drops. I let go, it goes back up. If I don't touch the tip, it's not dropping. See? Tips. Which means if we go to the inside, I can touch the tip. And I'm assuming the tip is this one in the middle, right? Right there. Damn, everything's backwards for this camera, sorry. So I'm assuming that's the tip and the other is the outside. But let's find out here. Touching to the tip, or the one I think is the tip on the inside. Now I'm gonna touch the tip on the outside. And it is for sure in the background there. Dropping down. See? Let it go. Drop. So that's how it's wired. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some of this insulation off of here. According to what we did on Rattlesnake Cable Company, we got about that much insulation to take off. Whew! Almost lost my teeny tiny screws. That would have sucked. Alright. So, here we go. We're gonna do this. So this is dangerous. Don't cut yourself if you choose to do this. It's best if you have a wire stripper, a cable stripper, insulation cutter that fits for the job, but I do not, so I gotta make do with what I got. Oh my gosh, sorry. This is a pain in the ass. It's just a slow process. Cutting through this insulation. Trying your best not to cut the wires. Cut the wires, you screwed it up. Don't screw it up. Don't fuck it up. Fuck it up. Can't help you, boy or girl. Can't fucking help you. Don't fuck it up. It's the biggest, most badassest. Man, this cable is so old. This is amazing. I think this is a vintage cable, probably from the 60s by the look of it. Jesus Christ. Look at this shit. What is that? That is fucked up, yo. Oh my God. That's amazing. Amazing insulation. I don't know, it's probably asbestos. I'll probably die in here, breathing asbestos into my lungs. So, if this video never comes out, you know why. It's because I got some asbestos in my lungs and this crazy ancient fucking rock cable from the fucking 60s. You know what? I'll bet, I don't know, 70s. I don't know my decades or anything, but I'll bet this cable was used by Black Sabbath. And now I'm cutting it up. It's fucking crazy. All right, so after trimming that little bit there, I've got these separated out. And of course, can't solder them like that. So, man, I do have to say, this Rattlesnake Cable Company stuff is beautiful work. Go check out Rattlesnake Cable Company, guys. All right, so I think I'm gonna actually try to get a little more of this out. Give my cable just a little bit more of a haircut here. I'm gonna turn this off too. We don't need this on. That's just wasting power. Look at me wasting power. Even if it is rechargeable batteries, what a waste of fucking power. All right, here we go. All right, so I got that a little bit more cleaned up. The way I decided that was here. I don't know what level skill y'all's got. You can see too big. And that one's like possible. And that one's a definite, but possibly cutting the wire. So that's why I went with 14. We go with about, let's see, can you see that? That much stripped. Beautiful. I tell you folks, that is the glory of having the right tool for the job. Just twisting this up just a teeny bit. And then let's do some more. How has he got this one? Oh, he's got that style cable for it. All right. That's all right. Like this. Boom. And that's our beautiful black cable. Black wire. So what I'm gonna do is I like to always color code all my shit the same way to the best of my ability with whatever I'm Star Wars scavenging. We got a black and a white cable, and so I'm gonna use the black as the ground and the white as the signal. All right, so with this heat shrink tubing, I always try to get about the size. I mean, it'll shrink down a lot, but I try to get about the size that you're at for it instead of making it shrink down a ton. So this is what fits here. That's pretty good. Goes in easily. So that'll work really well. And it looks like when I put this here like so, you can see there's a little bit of wiggle room on the cable, which must be why our good friend at Rattlesnake Cable Company puts in that little bit of heat shrink wrapping to make it fit better, so it's more secure and therefore probably less likely to break. Beautiful work. Good idea. I'm gonna do it myself. However, I like colors lately, so everything I've been buying and making has been really colorful, and so I got colored heat shrink tubing, and And so mine are gonna look a little different than his, because not only will they have the silver tips, they will not have the really cool logoed back, which is all right. I could put my logo on it later if I want to, but it's not like I'm selling it, so doesn't need it at the moment. Yeah, and now I have the silver tip and also have yellow holding it in there instead of black. So anyway, beauty. It's a beauty, eh? Damn, that was a good stuff. Fucking poor Rick Moranis getting punched in the face by some jackass just randomly. That dude's fucking hilarious and nice, from what I could tell. Maybe he's not nice, but never done anything wrong to me. Why the fuck some asshole would run up and sucker punch him is beyond me. But people will do weird shit. Because people is weird. Alright, boom, boom. That's fucking rad, huh? Got a couple of those snipped up. And in fact, I'm gonna do one more just so. Whatever. We'll just make that whatever on the whatever length it needs to be on the next time we do a fucking thing. All right, so I think that's all I need from this guy. So I'm gonna put this beautiful patch cable back together. Again, good job, Rattlesnake Cable Company. I don't know if any do-it-yourselfers are gonna wanna go buy it somewhere else, or maybe you look at this and you're like, I don't wanna waste my time on that, which is fucking valid too. So anyway, Rattlesnake Cable Company rocks. So be sure to check them out. I guess maybe this way. Everything's fucking upside down. Yeah. So I'll leave a link in the description below. These guys are local from me, from Missoula, Montana here. They're rad, so check them out. Very high quality cable, and one that you can get into yourself and fix if something were to go wrong. But it looks like, for the most part, they have taken every precaution to not allow something to go wrong. And this is some buff cable. I'm thinking this is speaker cable or something. It's just intense. Way more wire than I have on this other one. I'm gonna try this under here a little bit more this time. See if I can get you guys a shot that you can see. It's hard to like... Making YouTube tutorials fucking sucks. Doesn't suck, it's just way harder than you'd think. Cause like, your setups and editing and all that stuff, but even on-camera work, when you don't have a cameraman, you're doing this shit yourself, damn, bro, it's some work. So, thanks for sticking around and watching this crazy shit. Hopefully it's worth your time. Boom, look at that. Got it apart. I just pulled that shit on that one. So here again, we got this crazy ass straw scarecrow. The scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. Straw man. We got this crazy ass straw man argument. This insulation is nuts. Back in my day, this is how we did it. We had this, we just put fucking straw in there and wheat, because that's what we had shitting around was straw and old wheat. Hay, that's what I'm trying to think of. Hay and straw. We only had hay and straw back in the day, and so that's what we used to insulate our wires. We didn't have all this neato stuff, these fancy plastics and synthetic materials that do all this cool shit. No, we did not. We didn't have capabilities of making wires that, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but yeah, back in my day. All right. It's one of my favorite voices to do, to be obnoxious and stupid. 'Cause That's who I am, my friends. Now, if we remember from before, we've used this wire is a 14. So I'm gonna pop it into 14 real quick. I'm not even gonna bother measuring it. Why? Because if you know, you know. Oh, I love that. You guys ever listen to Pigface? If not, you should. They're rad. Pigface is an epic band from the 90s. It's a industrial music super band. It's had many, many artists in it. And they were just brilliant in a way. All right. Now that we're here, let's get out my little friend, Helping Hands. Which happens to be falling apart. What a brilliant little mechanism here that's super hard to balance, is the only thing. But it's brilliant nonetheless. I mean, whoever came up with this idea, it's pretty cool. You just have these little brackets, a hole on each side, so that they can help make connection with this joint, this ball joint. I'm wondering if this is what my hips look like. That's what I'm thinking, kids. Is this what my hips look like? When I'm trying to put this together, is this what my hips look like? On the inside, I mean. Inside of me, that's what I mean. But you gotta keep it balanced, and then, you get it tight enough and it connects. And you can move it and adjust it in all these different directions. What a brilliant, brilliant device. These are pretty cheap too. They're like, 8 or $9, I think it was. I don't know. I'm sure you could find one at your local hardware store, but if not, I'll throw a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Where the hell's my other? Oh, the alligator clip, or as some people like to call it, roach clip. Shh. I didn't say that though. The fuck are you thinking? Oopsies. Nobody. Oh, you fucker. There we go. I'm not even paying close enough attention. It's all spinning in my fingers. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's how it should feel. It's got to be getting tighter eventually, right? Even though I'm not doing anything. All right, boom. There's our sweet little helper hands. Out the box, finally. I mean, for like the 5th time. I just got to remember not to, when I put it away, don't loosen it up quite so much. So I'm going to go this way. I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to see it. Maybe I should do it so you can see what the fuck my helping hands is looking at. And then I'll just do it blind from the top. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I should make sure actually that this touches first. This should be primary. The other one should be secondary. All right, so I was just thinking, and so I'm gonna say this because this is how I work. It's a lot by just figuring it out as I go, logic and intuition. So, but I always try to foresee potential problems in the future. And here was one that I saw. So if I make the ground connection first down here, then I might not have enough length to make the positive connection and still fit in here properly. So my first move is make the positive connection. And I suppose when I say that out loud, it just makes sense. In general in life, your first move should be to make the positive connection. That's right. Life words of wisdom here on the Dead Ed channel. Ooh. Well, you know what I have though? Ooh, my other alligator clippers. And then alligator clippers this. And then alligator. No, I'm not gonna alligator clippers that. All right, so what if, can I, oops. God damn, I'm losing my shit all over the place here. All right, can I do this for you? Yes, I can, except for, let's try this with space, room. Soldering with room to solder. There's my beautifully tinned tip. Always keep that tip clean and tinned. And then all we're doing is we're heating up our components. God damn it. All right, pretty sure we got a solid connection here. Clean this shit off. Pop that guy there. Now let's set up my next one. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna trim this. Trimmed. Then we're gonna do same number as before. Pop it out. Gotta love wire cutters. The right tool for the job makes your job phenomenally easy. Spin that stuff up. Now I should be able to lay this down properly. And I'm gonna tin my wire, because this will be easier with tinned wire for sure. I should have tinned my first one. Yeah, tin my wire and I can put it right there and it'll be perfect. All right. Hold this for me for a second, please, thank you, and let me tin this wire. She's trying to kill me. All these fumes, she's trying to kill me. Alright, whatever. 10 enough. I don't really give that much of a shit. I'm just trying to do it totally properly and whatever. Let's pop the shit down here. Because that's what we need. I'm not super worried about it because the silicone insulation between the connections, it's gonna be fine. But this is kind of like not my bestest work in the world. First time I do something though, I'm usually kind of like meh at it. I haven't built these little cables before, even though I've done similar things. All right, I'm gonna go with this though. So, hopefully you guys can see it. All right. Let's call this shit rad. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the connection I'm looking for. Now, what do? Test our connections, of course. Oh, here, let me put this here so you can see it. All right. Tip. Tip has connection. It is insulated from the shaft. Okay. Looks like we're good. Just think of a slightly larger tip for this. See that shit as I do this? Oh, look at that. Where the fuck is my camera looking at? Look at that. No connection whatsoever. Horrible. Put that shit back. Boom! So here's what I did, folks. I don't even know if you can see this because it's a little flat. But this kept not connecting. I think I need to change the tip on my soldering iron to the larger one. This audio cable is just so much thicker than I was expecting it to be. So anyway, basically I made sure it was connected completely. It is. Now soldered both to the unit and to the casing a little bit, which is fine because it's the ground. But just to be on the safe side of everything, like we like to be, to make sure that we're doing the right thing, we're going to test it. Okay, that's shaft to shaft. Wait a second. Oh, this one disconnected. That's a sup. God damn it. See, that's why we do this. That's why we do these tests. This one is just being a pain in my ass for some reason. I'm gonna get the other soldering tip. So I think my issue that I'm having is I've got too small on my tip. Got my way small tip, there we go, on my soldering iron. I think it's just too small for the job. So I'm gonna increase the size, but this is still pretty hot. So I can't touch it yet. So while I wait, I thought, you know what I'll do is close this other side up, because this other side's good. This side here is good. We'll close it up. I got my little beta heat shrink stuff there. Move it about like that, so it's sticking out just a little bit. This is gonna shrink up. And I got my handy dandy blow dryer, and you're gonna love the sound of this. Damn, that's hot, bros. Fucking hot. All right. There we go. Pretty fucking sweet looking, huh? All right, new tips on. Hopefully this doesn't get it to be too much. Hopefully it doesn't get it to be too much crazy for do this, eh? It's not quite there yet, folks. We're trying, but it's not quite there yet. Look at that. Oh my God. You want that. All right, bitch. You do it now. You connected properly. Let's see if this worked out, folks. Oh, connection. Oh, disconnection. Damn, this one's a bitch. Just through the hole and everything. Everything. All right, I got an idea, folks. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hold this motherfucker like a bin. I'm gonna... I was probably lazy not doing this before, but I'm gonna tin my piece. Because that might be the whole problem right there. All right. So I tinned my piece. I don't know if you saw that or not. Okay, now I'm gonna... this fucker up. Maybe now, since it's tinned, maybe now it will also make a connection. Did we do it? I think we did it. Of course, I'm the eternal optimist. Oh, 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 oh. Look at that. It worked. Beauty. All right. Now we test again. Shaft to shaft. If you make shaft connection, it works. If you make tip to shaft connection. What's going on here? Did it do it again? Did it come off again? No. Tip to shaft connection, nada. Tip to shaft connection, nada. Shaft, ooh. And if you touch the tips, look at that. That looks like a working cable to me. So let's finish this up. God damn, that's so fucking hot. God damn, these are gonna be beautiful. Look at that, my friends. Look at that. That is the same, virtually. I mean, minus the gold tips, right? Minus the gold tips. But that is the same as this beautiful patch cable from Rattlesnake Cable Company. Again, I'll have a link down in the description for them because they are rad. You should definitely support them. Especially if you're close-ish to me in Missoula because they are local. buy local, everybody, as much as possible. Yeah, and there's my clone of it. That clone cost me, let me think. So cloning this cost me $3. It's a $1.50 per tip at the price I got him at, which again, if you want to find that, I'll leave a link down in the description. And since I recycled this cable, it's $3 per patch cable for me. I guess not including the heat shrink stuff, I don't know. But that's kind of stuff that just sits around, in my opinion. It's probably less than a penny or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a couple cents. Let's say a couple cents. Let's say it's $3.10 per cable versus this $10 per patch cable, which is great. Again, very high quality, definitely worth $10. Saved you a lot of hassle of doing it yourself. But since I also need to make a couple of patch cables at specific lengths for my pedal board layout, I just decided to go for these $3 a patch cable. $3.10, whatever, $3.10, let's say. Woo! All right, everybody. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.